I wanted to do a really quick video about a post that I put in some eskate groups. And basically, I was talking about the fact that I feel that electric skateboard companies should be more intentional about evenly distributing their boards to reviewers of different weights. And I kind of came to this conclusion because right now, we just had the holiday season, Black Friday deals. We got Christmas coming up. I'm sure they'll have more deals. So a lot of these board companies have given out boards to reviewers throughout YouTube for them to do reviews on the board. I guess, of course, to make consumers aware of their products. But interestingly, the vast majority of these individuals who are doing the reviews are what you would consider, I would say, typically lighter riders. You have individuals that are 140, 150, 160 pounds. And the question is, why is it that some board companies don't give boards to guys that may be 200 pounds, 210, 220, so that they can do reviews of the boards so that individuals can be aware about it? And I ask this question because I often do videos on my YouTube channel where I talk about how does this board react utilizing my weight? How does this deck flex utilizing my weight? And it was interesting. I've had people put comments and say things like, you're one of the few people that are discussing it from your weight. Thanks for sharing the information or the content. Even in this Facebook group, people had different comments where they were like, yeah, I wish that they would do that as well. But two things really stuck out to me when I was reading through the commentary when people were responding to my posts. They gave some very good answers, and then some people gave some poor answers, and I'm not about to get into the poor answers. But one of the answers that individuals were giving was the fact that board companies don't want to give boards to heavier riders because they don't want it to impact the specs that they report that the board does. So if they say this board can go this many kilometers or this many miles, they're afraid that if they give it to a heavier rider, that it's not going to perform as well. Or if they say this board has a top speed of this and they give it to a heavier rider, it won't reach it. And while I do agree with that, and that is a business decision, there's an aspect that I don't think some people are considering. And that aspect is, if companies did give boards to heavier riders, and that board performs excellently, what that's letting all the consumers know that if this board can pull a 225-pound man, or a 230-pound man, or a 210-pound man, then it can definitely do its thing on a rider that's lighter. And this is really kind of like personal to me a little bit because I have 3 boards. My last board that I just got is the X-Way X1 Pro Riot. And my other boards, I'll just be honest about it, they're good solid boards. But I'm not getting the performance in certain areas that I thought I would get out the board. In particular, one of the things that really frustrates me is that with my 2 current boards is that when I'm going up a hill, there's sometimes I'm literally in the single digits when I'm going up a hill. And that's very troublesome, especially if you're in a group ride because people are just passing you and going by you. But this is the crazy thing. My X-Way, that board not only goes up hills well, but I'm actually accelerating when I'm going up hills. And there have been some times that I've been going up hills and I was able to go up at 20 miles an hour and my board was only on like 50 or 60% power, which is very surprising. But you see, had I had a chance to see my 2 previous boards being reviewed by riders that were a little bit heavier, I might have been able to come to the conclusion that I may not should have purchased that particular board because it doesn't give me the acceleration and torque and stuff like that that I need for a person my size. That board may work perfectly for somebody that's 50, 60, 70 pounds lighter than me, but it didn't necessarily meet my needs as a heavier rider. And that's why I wanted to pose this question to you guys is, do you think that board companies should more evenly distribute boards to reviewers of different weights so that people can make the proper decisions as it relates to their product? And I think that they should, because I really think that when they do that, there's some board companies that are really going to differentiate themselves from other companies. There are some boards that are just going to perform so well that people are like, that's the board I need to get. So I think that while some board companies might have something to lose, I think the vast majority of board companies have a lot to gain by distributing boards to individuals of different weights and sizes. So what do you guys think about it? Throw a comment below in the comment section. I would be very curious to know what you guys think about the situation. I guess one final thing that I wanted to say, just real quick, to throw it out there. One of the things that people kept making comments about as well was, oh, these boards aren't designed for heavier riders. Maybe people should lose weight. And I thought that that was such a silly comment, because when you think about it, just because somebody's a heavier rider, that doesn't mean that they're obese or they're out of shape. You know, I'm 6'2", 6'3", so my weight is actually a good weight for my height. There's people out here that are 6'4" that want to ride these boards, so they might be 200 pounds or greater. This isn't something that, oh, these people are obese and they want to ride a board. And my thing is, who cares if someone is heavy and they want to ride a board? If that's what they want to do, they should be able to do that, and they should be able to make an informed decision. And they can only do that if skateboard companies give out boards to riders of varying weights, so that consumers can make an educated decision about the type of board that they want. Man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. As always, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you like what you heard. Peace.